Next time you feel the urge to mindlessly scroll, remember this: you're sabotaging your future. You might think that a little scrolling every now and then won't hurt, but what you don't realize is that every time you do this, you're slowing down the rate at which you improve, and all due to a little chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a major role in how we feel pleasure. It's the reason we feel driven, have the ability to focus, and have the ability to find interest in things. It's also been found to affect learning, motivation, mood, sleep, and attention. Pretty cool chemical, right? The problem lies in how modern technology and social media hijack this system, profiting in the profit while we dig ourselves deeper and deeper into a pit of stagnation. By constantly feeding our minds with useless and cheap dopamine, we slowly but surely become unable to focus or find fulfillment in the things that can improve our lives. Things like reading, exercise, meditation, deep work, and socializing become too boring or too much of a hassle to do. After all, why do those things if I have my phone or my PlayStation? To succeed in a world designed to keep us hooked on easy pleasures, we must break the dopamine addiction for our self-actualization. To break it, however, one must understand delayed and instant gratification. To explain the effect that both can have on your life, I'm going to tell you about a study that you probably heard of before: the Stanford marshmallow experiment. In the 1960s, a Stanford professor by the name of Walter Mischel placed children in a private room, sat them down, and put a marshmallow in front of them. The children were then offered two options. They could either eat the marshmallow now or wait 15 minutes and eat 2 marshmallows later. Some ate the marshmallow as soon as the researcher left. Some waited a few minutes but ultimately succumbed, and then a few waited the entire duration and got 2 marshmallows. As the children grew up, the researchers conducted follow-up studies and found surprising results in the areas that they tracked. Those willing to delay gratification, i.e. waiting instead of instantly eating the marshmallow, ended up with higher SAT scores, lower levels of substance abuse, lower likelihood of obesity, better responses to stress, better social skills as reported by their parents, and generally better scores in a range of other life measures. You can see this same concept everywhere you look. If you delay the gratification of eating that donut that's calling your name, you'll be healthier later. If you delay the gratification of watching that show right now, you'll get more work done. If you delay the gratification of ending your workout earlier, you'll become mentally and physically stronger. Delaying gratification has numerous benefits that will positively impact your life. The problem is that there are marshmallows everywhere we look. On our phones, on our computers, in our stores, they're everywhere, screaming at you to consume them. When you do, you erode your ability to persevere through challenges. When work gets hard, you go to your phone. When life gets tough, you escape to your favorite show. When you act like this, you can't progress. In a world filled with marshmallows everywhere you turn, the only way to resist is to understand that by fighting back, you're putting your future self in a much better position. This can be better explained by another part of that study. You see, before the children were placed in that room with the marshmallow, they were separated into 2 groups. The first group was exposed to unreliable promises. The researchers gave the children a small box of crayons and said that they would be given a larger box of crayons later, but the researchers never delivered on that promise. They were also given a small selection of stickers and told that they would be given better stickers later, but again, the researchers never delivered. The second group was exposed to reliable promises. The researchers gave the children a small box, promised them a larger box later, and actually gave it to them. They promised the children a better selection of stickers and actually delivered on that promise. You can probably guess the results. The children in that first group didn't trust the researchers, therefore ate the marshmallow as soon as they got the chance. On the other hand, those in the second group were training their minds to see delayed gratification as a positive. Every time the researcher delivered on a promise, the child understood 2 things. 1, waiting is worth it. And 2, I have the ability to wait. By simply knowing that there's a better future for you out there if you delay gratification, it'll be that much easier for you to succeed and to escape the dopamine trap. A practical way to do this is to schedule out blocks of your day for you to delay gratification and resist cheap dopamine. Use these blocks to get focused work done. When you feel your focus waning, rather than pick up your phone, delay that gratification. Grab a book, pick up an instrument, or go outside and take a walk. Once your mind has been refreshed, get back to work. Soon you'll find that you don't even want to consume cheap dopamine. Using myself as an example, I block out dopamine from my mornings in order to focus on my agency, my content, and my writing. When I get bored or feel my focus slipping away, I'll stop working, I'll read some fiction, play my saxophone, or take a walk. I'm a lot more productive when I do this because I can focus on the task at hand. Another thing to note is that cheap dopamine is the enemy of execution when building a business, an audience, or anything else for that matter. This is because when it isn't used correctly, it can send you in a downward spiral, making it nigh impossible to succeed. An example of this is only working when you feel inspired or motivated. These bursts of motivation will always fade. This will leave you with a sense of frustration and unfinished projects. You'll never get anything done that way. If you want success, you need consistency. 50 outreaches every day, 1 video every single day. Whatever your metric for becoming successful is, make sure you get it done every day, not just when you're motivated by a bit of extra dopamine. Another downfall that cheap dopamine can cause is the procrastination loop. Imagine you have a difficult task ahead. You don't want to do it, so you've been procrastinating. All of a sudden, you feel distracted. You get a notification on your phone and you pick it up. This causes you to start mindlessly scrolling, allowing you to temporarily escape from that hard task. Soon, you get bored and now you're thinking about that hard task yet again. You begin to feel worse for getting distracted, making you want to do that hard work even less. Congrats, you're stuck in a negative feedback loop. One way that I've found to get around this is by using a tactic called eating the frog. Imagine you're eating dinner with friends. You've got steak, potatoes, and everything else you love on the plate. But at the corner, you see a frog. And in this scenario, you have to eat that frog. Will you eat the frog first or eat it last? Obviously, you'd want to eat the frog first. That way, you're able to cleanse your palate later on with the better food. Your work should be the same way. When your hardest task is the first thing you do in the day, everything after will be that much easier. Once done, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Another thing you'll notice is that you'll be extremely focused when doing this. Your dopamine hasn't been spiked by any unnecessary distractions, so your work is all you can think about. You become locked in, only focused on the task at hand. You'll notice a similar phenomenon when you're mindlessly scrolling on social media. You'll check the time and you'll realize that an hour has gone by in seemingly a few minutes. You've entered a flow state. The flow state is a godsend to anyone trying to make something of themselves. It allows you to become completely immersed in whatever you're doing, allowing you to creatively and effectively overcome any challenge that you face. It's another reason why removing mindless dopamine from your life is essential. It allows you to enter flow. Now, if you want to hack your dopamine in a positive way and be successful, you need to reward yourself. This will allow you to create a positive feedback loop regarding the habits that move you forward. The correct way to do this is to reward yourself when you've completed a task or made significant progress, not just for an initial idea or vision. A common mistake people make with this is telling others their goals. When you do this, you release dopamine similar to that of if you actually completed that goal. Your brain is tricked into thinking that it's already been done, and now you don't want to actually do it. Rather than do that, don't tell anyone until you've actually done it. Give yourself small rewards for making progress along the way, and once you've done it, you'll have a story and a topic to talk about. Personally, whenever I complete some work task or make significant progress, I like to read a light novel or game for a little bit. Yes, I play video games every now and then, sue me. That way, I'm able to refresh my mind and get back to work with renewed vigor. Let's recap how to escape the dopamine trap. For starters, remove cheap dopamine from your mornings. By doing so, you're able to get good dopamine by completing the tasks that move your life forward, making them easier to do and significantly enhancing your progress. By having a dopamine-free morning, you're also able to enter a flow state, making your work superhuman. Another good tactic is to use your mornings to eat the frog. Complete the hardest task first, and all the ones after will be easier to start. Reward yourself for completing tasks and making progress, and you'll begin to associate that reward with the task, again making it easier to do. Eventually, you'll have hacked your dopamine system for the better, putting you on the fast track to success. Now you know what to do, so get out there and put the work in. I suppose I'll record a proper call to action this time. Definitely join the newsletter if you do want this content a day early. That'll be linked in the description. Other than that, join the Discord. I'm trying to get that live. I'm trying to get more people in so we can get to the point where we can start hosting weekly calls. We can talk business, we can talk philosophy, we can talk self-improvement, and we can talk anything. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and like below. If you didn't, dislike it. You can leave a hate comment, you can send hate mail, and you can pizza my house. Other than that, comment below your thoughts. Let me know if there's anything I can improve on and get better at. And other than that, let's put the work in. Peace.